On today's James the Bike Guy, we're taking a look at the Santa Cruz Chameleon Carbon. This is going to be the R Plus model, meaning it's a 27.5 plus size tired variant of the carbon fiber Santa Cruz Chameleon. And being a previous Chameleon aluminum owner, let me just say I've been lusting after this bike as I check it out. So we're going to go into some of the neat frame and detail features of this bike. We'll go over the specs, and then finally we'll find out exactly what this one weighs. So if this kind of thing is interesting to you, go ahead, stick around, and consider hitting that subscribe button. That way you can see more of these here in the future. So checking out the Santa Cruz Chameleon Carbon, I'm a little late to the party, but that's okay because this bike is really drawing me in. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, I owned the aluminum version of this bike, and personally, I really enjoyed it. They came out with the carbon one, and I've just drooled over this for a long time, and I'm so psyched to be able to see this particular one. So let's get a little geeky with this frame setup. So Santa Cruz is very well known for their carbon chassis. They're typically extremely strong. This one's got tapered head tube. It's got an internal cable routing. They run lines through the bike to make sure that being able to do the cabling is super easy. And then out back on this, it's going to have an adjustable dropout where you're able to adjust the length of the rear end. So that means in stock form, this can run a 415 millimeter chainstay length all the way up to 430, meaning that the bike is super snappy in that shorter length. You can run larger to go up to 29-inch wheel. And I should mention this bike is available both in the 27.5 plus version like we have here, or in a 29er. Now, the plus version is going to have a little more travel up front with 130. The 29 has 120. But in this back end, having that adjustable dropout is just so cool. It's also going to run Boost 148, and you can swap out those dropouts to a single speed 12 by 142 as well, in case you wanted to set this up single speed. Now, drawing forward, to be able to get that super tight rear end, they're going to have a curved seat tube, which is pretty nice. On the carbon, it looks a little better than the aluminum version does. But the thing that I really love is how they set up this chainstay in between the chainring. So you'll see it's actually stepped. If I run my finger across, there's a step right there where it goes to just a solid chunk of carbon. And that's going to allow them to run up to, I believe it's a 34 tooth chainring up front, even with that super tight clearance. Stock on the bike is of course going to be a 30 tooth, which is running this 1x12 speed drivetrain. So this being the R model means that it's coming with Sram's NX drivetrain. So this is a clutched Eagle rear derailleur, got an 11 to 50 tooth spread out back. So driving all that together works out pretty well. And by that crankset, you'll have two other really neat features that I just love. I know we jumped right in, but down there, that's right, that's a threaded bottom bracket, and then it's also got ISCG mounts. So as you look through, you've got the mounts all there to be able to run a chain guide, a bash guard, whatever you want. So threaded ISCG, all on this carbon hardtail. Going up front, you'll notice it's got these super chunky tubes. I haven't gotten a chance to ride the carbon version, but the aluminum was super stiff, and I imagine this will be too, but a bit more forgiving because of the carbon rear end. But we've got that tapered head tube down to this Fox Rhythm fork. This is the Rhythm 34, so it's got 34 millimeter wide stanchions, nice blacked out coating to them. It's got the grip damper, so you're going to have a progressive open to firm position, and then it is going to be air adjustable over here, so you can get it dialed in just to your liking. And down at the axle, we've got 15 by 110 boost through axle, which is lacing up to these Sram MTH hubs. They're mountain hubs running some STI-40 rims by WTB. So these are 40 millimeter wide internal, which is going to support the 27.5 by 2.8 inch tires perfectly. This bike is set up with tubes at the moment, but the tires, the wheels are tubeless ready. And in fact, Santa Cruz ships it with tubeless ready valves and sealant as well. So you've got those Rekon Plus tires front and rear. All you need to do to run this in 29er format is to actually adjust that rear end, bring it out a little bit, and swap in some 29-inch wheels and tires, and you're good to go. I love to see that that's capable pretty much directly out of the box. Now for a cockpit, They always work with race face pretty well. So you've got an aluminum cockpit here, nice stubby stem, 35mm setup. And then for grips, you've got the Santa Cruz Palmdale grips, which have this nice texturing Santa Cruz written on it. Feels real good. A Sram NX shifter, and then the Guide R brakes. So the Guide R brakes are going to be a hydraulic DOT fluid brake. They've got quad piston calipers clamping down on these centerline rotors. To sit on the bike, you've got the WTB Volt saddle. This is a specific one for Santa Cruz. You can see it written in there, which is pretty cool to see. And then the dropper post is going to be a race face Aeffect dropper, which has a 1x style lever. So if you put your hand on the lever and you press down, it's going to lift right up with 150mm of drop. So the spec on this is pretty dang solid. The frame looks super cool. I know I'm gushing. Oh man, I really love this bike. So let's go ahead and now find out what this thing weighs. The actual weight of the Santa Cruz Carbon Chameleon is going to come in and weigh 27.93 pounds. Well, thanks for watching this video on the Santa Cruz Chameleon Carbon. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. While you're at it, be sure to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to leave a thumbs up. It lets me know that you enjoyed the video.